Welcome to the Patch Game Club. This
It's
week,
the Game
talking
Club.
about Don't Starve Together.
You got the God mic. I can hear your voice all over.
Maybe a
They
little
took
Don't
it away
Starve
from
too.
you. And they
It's always a
gave it to
lottery at
us.
the beginning of every one of these broadcasts. Like somebody will get a mic that you can hear, like on the speakers here at the studio.
Yeah.
I had it before, and now somehow it
Yeah,
switched to
you
you.
talked
So
about it and it came to
basically,
me.
you're just complaining.
Basically.
That's not you anymore.
I like it. Every time you hear your voice in the PA, you always tell me to go, wah ha 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 ha.
So, Don't Starve Together is the multiplayer version of Don't Starve.
Who had played Don't Starve before? I had.
Okay.
played Don't Starve. Because I basically picked it up after I got done with Minecraft on PC like years and years ago.
Oh, which is a
played it.
great evolution. Because I was saying to Gus when we streamed yesterday, it was my first time playing at all. And I was like, oh, this is very Minecrafty.
Yeah, I'd heard it described as very Minecrafty before, and it was like, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work in that view. Now I know, totally works.
It totally does, yeah.
We had a Minecraft server for a little while for sponsors, and I'm going to bring it back for this summer. But one of the big features of it was it would reset like once a week, and you only had one life. So people had to be really careful about what they
Oh,
did.
that's cool.
Yeah, and if like anybody did anything wrong, everyone else in the server could go find them and kill them. And then like that's how you ban people.
Right, like it was
basically.
kind of self-policed.
Yeah.
I want to
It was
be
also
on
very
Is
Lord
it
of
a
the
don't?
Flies.
You're gonna bring one for Don't Starve,
Well, this was for Minecraft.
but will you? Bring
But it was
back?
because of that, and it was you had the one life. That's what people on there were suggesting that I play Don't Starve because I like that so much, and so
Oh.
that's how I picked it up.
I want to go into that. I want you to start one like that for Don't Starve, and then I just want to be the fire starter and just start a bunch of
Just,
fires.
like, light everything on
Meg,
fire.
I feel like I learned something about Meg when we streamed Don't Starve
Yeah.
the other day. She likes fire. Like I would leave the screen and then come back, and there would be like a huge forest fire. Apparently, the fire spreads.
What I learned about Gus
Yep.
is
What?
he
It
can't
does.
just
Weird.
it does
It spreads
spread.
and goes.
Spreads.
What I learned about Gus is he can't just let stuff go. Like it was like the fire would take care of itself, but he would be running around like, "Oh God, fire!" the whole time,
Well, I
and
was
then it would just
worried.
go out.
Were you trying to like chop down trees in front of it and stuff like that?
It was like you can extinguish it. Like when a bush is smoldering, you can go up to it and extinguish it to try to keep it from catching
Yeah,
fire.
but almost
okay.
every time I did that, it would catch fire while it was extinguishing, and then I would get burned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then my screen would start
Yeah.
showing like the flames on it, and
Actually, there's in Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, there's like three basic statistics, which are your hunger, which is a big one, then your health, which is eventually what kills you, but then there's your sanity one too. Ashley was the first time I've ever seen someone die from insanity.
oh really?
Yeah, her character went nuts and got attacked by ghosts that only she could see.
To be fair, I thought it was just a bad trip.
Yeah.
I
You
ate
went too many.
Yeah, I was trying to clear out my inventory because I was like collecting a bunch of stuff, and then I ended up with these. I wanted something else in my inventory, and there were these 2 red mushrooms, and I was like, I've eaten one of them before, and it was totally fine, so I'll just like eat these really quick. Ate the first one, totally fine. I'm sure I took a hit to the sanity that I just didn't notice, and then the second one, something went really bad. The whole world changed. Suddenly there were shadow monsters crawling around. I was like, this is a bad
She
trip.
took the blue
So I
acid.
just started like walking around and waiting for the bad trip to wear off until I realized that nope, my sanity was gone. It was not going to go away.
That's like the worst case scenario for any drug trip, right? Like you're just waiting for it to wear off, and then like it's forever now.
Right.
So I was like,
This is my life.
so then the monsters, I didn't know this, but well, I learned it the hard way, is that when your sanity gets low enough, like the shadow monsters that you see sometimes can attack you
Yeah.
and kill you. And so I was like running around. We'd lucked out. This is the first time I've ever played this game. We lucked out and found like this pre-made fort with like stone walls
Got a
and
chest in it.
and
Wow.
all this. Yeah, we had a little chest that would walk along with us. It was great. And then I ended up running around the fire going.
Never seen that before in the game, and all of a sudden I found it right away in our match.
It was wonderful. We
There's like a
couldn't-
little thing called Chester, and you'd get an eye bone, and as long as you had that, he would follow you. It was like almost like a pumpkin with a personality, and it would like
That you could put
with
stuff
feet,
in.
It would run along, and you could like open up the
Oh.
top of it and put stuff in it, and it would just follow you wherever you went.
That's really cool.
And then you could put the eye bone down, and he would stay there.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
It actually kind of reminded me of. Did any of you guys read Terry Pratchett, the Discworld series? There's like this trunk that has like a million legs, and it just scuttles around. It's like a sentient trunk.
You know what it reminded me of?
great.
It reminded me of going to the mall with you, and it's like, here's my key, here's this, here's everything. Not necessarily in the mall, but like somewhere where you don't carry a purse. Whenever she gets
Actually,
in a
this is
situation,
actually
If
an
I have to-
intervention. Where
If I
we
have
all
to-
love you and we want to tell you
Ashley,
we support
don't
you.
store.
Ashley carries a purse about this big. Did we ever do audio of this? This is the only video.
the only video, I think.
Okay, so I can use visual cues. Yeah, she carries a purse that's normally about this big, but then when we go to like it's not a mall, but like a formal event where she goes down to a purse for whatever reason
Right.
that's
I'm
this
sorry.
big,
A mall or a ball? Because there's a big difference.
There's a little bit
It's
of
only
a
one letter.
difference. When do we ever go to malls anymore? But when she goes down to
Let
something
me
like,
say it like she said mall. You were the one who said mall.
no, I know. I was making fun of myself.
Mall
I'm feeling really
idiot.
persecuted right now.
I'm making fun of myself. Yeah, but I'm like loaded up with like lipstick and phones and everything else.
You're like an
What are you
RPG character. You're like encumbered.
exactly right. I'm like the pack animal.
I just want him to not be able to run.
Nah, that's a good call.
But I felt like a lot of the mechanics, like you talked about, the insanity. You know, the game doesn't really have a tutorial. It kind of just like throws you into it, and you don't realize the ramifications of what you do. Like there's sometimes eating certain foods may lower your sanity.
Going into wormhole lowers your sanity.
I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah.
We were spending a lot of
You're
time
like, wow,
breaking
this is
out of
convenient.
wormholes.
It makes a lot of sense. It is a hole with teeth in the ground.
It sucks you in. Spits you out.
But it's actually a problem that I have got with the game, is that because there's not a lot of backstory and just like you have to figure things out. There's not a lot of stuff to me in the Don't Starve game and Don't Starve Together. There's not a lot of stuff that's intuitive. Like in Minecraft, if I take a stick, you know, and when I go to craft it, if I put like stone across the top, I get a pickaxe and stuff like that. Once you get to like alchemy machines and you get the science machine, not a lot of that stuff actually does make sense.
At least
See,
it tells you all the recipes, though, in the crafting.
Yeah, I
like you can
would
see like
say
what
that-
you need, and if you have all the required materials, it makes the ding sound, and like the tooltip lights up green to let you know you can make something in there.
Yeah, that was my thing. I actually thought it was more intuitive than Minecraft because Minecraft you have to figure a lot of that stuff out. This just says, oh, you want to make this, you need this first.
No, I agree. I thought it was much more intuitive, in my opinion, than Minecraft because it just told you. You need 3 of these, you need 2 of those, build button.
Yes.
The thing I think that changed my gameplay experience the most was when we were streaming, someone in chat said, you know, you can just hold down spacebar to pick up stuff close to you.
I think that same
good.
person was in our chat and told me the exact same thing. I played the game for a long time and didn't know that was the case.
So whoever
Yeah.
you are,
And
unknown hero.
you can like chop down
we
trees,
salute
collect
you, sort of.
items that are close to you.
Yeah.
And it was a game changer.
Although
was
I did
great.
find myself like hitting trees that I didn't mean to chop down and like taking a little bit off my axe.
Yeah, but then I was like, well, I already started chopping it. Like
Yeah,
I may
that's
as
what
well
I did.
finish
Yeah.
it.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, it's like, well, you know, I already got one little hack on this thing. Let's go ahead and chop the whole damn thing.
At
down.
first, I got really frustrated by the permadeath in the game because I was like, oh, I was just starting to like figure out how all this works. The first time we played, because Bernie's played Don't Starve, he was able to take care of me. I was like, I don't know, my food, where my stomach goes, is all closed up, and it says 6. I think that's bad.
Yeah.
And so he'd be like, oh, here, take 20 carrots. Here's all these berries. And I'd be like, I'm hungry again. I was like a baby who was taking care of me. And the second time, I was like, all right, you know what? Doing traps. I'm the trapper now. Suddenly making all this stuff.
She
Still
had like
died.
1,000 rabbit traps.
I
It was
totally
amazing.
did. And then we had a lot of rabbits.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's good.
The other
That's
thing
good
someone
food.
told us
Never
in
starved
chat
again.
is that I would give her food. I'd make food and give it to her, and then they were like, "You can just force feed her." Like,
Oh,
you walk-
really?
Yeah, so you can just walk up and like feed people.
I should have. I wish I had known that. I kept putting food on the ground for Meg, and she would just
Yeah.
walk away. Be like, "No, Meg, you're dying. Eat the food."
I had stuff
there's
to
stuff
do.
to-
I had
there's stuff to
shit
burn.
Take the
Yeah.
food, put the food in your mouth.
I also feel like I
We
didn't.
heard that. We heard when we got on our stream that like, don't waste your lighter. Meg used her lighter up like instantaneously.
I did not. I was never out of lighter. Thank you.
She is correct. The other thing, I wish I had done more research into the differences between the characters. Because in
Yeah.
hindsight, reading about it, it's like, oh, you know, I was playing as the spider, and there were a lot of benefits I could have used. You know, when you play the spider
Yeah.
character, you can feed meat to other spiders, and they'll follow you for a day and
I
attack
love
your
that.
enemies.
A
Yeah.
spider army.
And
I got trailed by buffalo. We could have used a spider army when I got trampled by a buffalo.
You got trampled by a buffalo.
Oh yeah,
Would you
those, they
attack
are,
it first?
Hell yeah, I did. I wanted to kill it.
apparently once a month they go into mating season.
Really?
and like during like the lunar cycle or something, like they go into mating season, and that's when they get like super aggressive, and you actually want to build. I was reading up on this. I had like super Don't Starve Together dreams last night, and woke up this morning thinking about it, like I need to get some
That
strats. And so I was reading all these things. They say build your base like one biome away from beefalo. You want them because the manure helps your farm, but if you can actually get far enough to set up a farm, but you don't want to be too close to them for mating season.
Interesting.
Also, pigs, you can give them meat and then they'll be your buddies.
Oh, really?
They're not just automatically aggressive.
Oh, the pig
He kept-
guys.
He,
Yeah,
he kept
the-
trying to.
Wow.
He kept trying to like.
That,
But you
my other
can't
problem with the
stand-
enemies, you can't fight anything. It's like it takes forever to get to the point where you can actually fight anything. Like those metals,
Yeah,
horses.
very, very early on, I think all you get for weapon-wise might be like once you have the science machine, you can build a spear pretty quickly.
Yes.
But beyond that, you're
The real,
you're limited.
the
Yeah.
real trick though is can even be getting a science machine. The first time we played, we were looking for
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
couldn't find
for
gold
I looked
forever.
into gold.
like an
thankfully.
hour and a half. The second time, it's like we spawned in the middle of a gold mine. It's
We were
like
lousy
here's
with
like
gold in the second one.
8 different boulders with gold in them. Have a
That's
great
amazing.
time. I was
You-
carrying
they were
multiple
golders?
stacks.
Hey, what's up?
Hi,
Watching the
Watson.
dog. I also played. I wanted to see the differences, so I also played Don't Starve on the PS4. to see what it was
How
like
does
with
it play
a
different? I
controller.
wondered with the stick.
It's very much the it's exactly the same game, but I found that inventory management was much more difficult with the controller because with the mouse obviously you just click on what you want and then do whatever you need to do. With the PS4 controller, like if you wanted to do inventory, for example, you hit R2, kind of pops up your inventory into focus. You scroll over to what you need. Then you can't use the item there. You have to hit R2 again to exit that mode, and then the item becomes in focus, and then you hit the D-pad depending on what you want to do.
That was always kind of one of the things with, it's the thing with a lot of PC games that end up relying on inventory and can do it because of keyboard. Diablo 3 was the same way, I found. When I went from PC to console to try and play it, the controls were a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if you just used it as a modifier, for example, like if you held down R2 and then D-pad it to what you wanted, and then you could use it, that would be a better solution than the way they did it.
I never played Minecraft on the Xbox.
Really?
Ever.
no,
Never.
I've never played it.
Yeah,
on
only
console.
played it on PC. It's like I learned to play it on PC, and then when it made the move over to Xbox, I was like, this makes no sense to me. Yeah, it's like, I mean, they even have the recipes on Xbox for Minecraft, but I was like, I knew all the recipes by that point. Or, I just had a tab
Fucking
open.
brag
where I
about
go
it.
I didn't know magic. But that's, I always felt like, I was saying earlier that it's not as intuitive as Minecraft, but the recipes don't make as much sense. Like the story of it's just like, I don't have that same connection to it that I do with Minecraft, with Don't Starve. I just don't feel that same way about it. Like I don't feel compelled to play again and again and again on this game. But I have.
It's
But
interesting 'cause I feel
You're in a lot of
flip-flop.
trouble
Right.
because I was telling Meg this morning, I was like, I think this is like my new game that I go to, and
Yeah.
it's all steampunky and emo.
I
too.
was-
That's,
Really?
like right up your alley.
I was reading about the influences, and they were saying the influences were Minecraft and Tim Burton, and I was like,
Yeah.
nailed
Oh,
it,
you can see that.
absolutely
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah, I found that
I would
when I
never
was
have thought to
playing
combine
the
those.
single player, I wasn't as much of a fan of it. It wasn't until I played the multiplayer, and it's like having another person running around and helping you and exploring. I feel like at that point it becomes a lot more manageable. When you're trying to approach the game by yourself, it's just daunting with the amount of stuff that you have to do.
Yeah, I liked doing it co-op. I liked,
Yeah.
he'd be the
Lumberjack?
the lumberjack, and I'd be the miner.
I wish though that
was my
you could
jam.
see your other players on the map.
Yeah.
Like that was the
Yeah.
problem we had occasionally.
We started because I had
But that's part of the mechanic, isn't it?
reoriented my map. So then
We
we were
had
like,
the
wait,
same
our lines.
problem.
Okay, wait, let me flip my map. Oh, there. Okay, here
Yeah.
we go.
We had the
Yeah.
exact same problem. I was like, I went west, and he's like, where? And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm over here, and he's like, that's east.
Yeah,
we
we
just
had no idea.
we actually had to then coordinate and be like, all right, put the fire above you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, now that's north, and we'd have to orient ourselves together so that we could use the directions like that.
Yeah.
I also feel like in Minecraft, I can build a base and then range away from my base and build little way stations along the way. This one I feel like I have to have a solid base, and wherever I choose that base that's going to be, where I start building machines and everything, it's a critical decision that takes place pretty early in the game.
Yes.
We never made that decision though. We were like, great, our campfire was our biggest concern. Then we had a science machine, then we walked away from it. Then we had a different science machine somewhere else, and we walked away from
Well,
it.
we had some gold trouble too occasionally.
Yeah.
So we had some trouble getting to the point where we could get a science machine.
Right.
I forgot where I was going with that.
I think one of the problems that we might have had, honestly, is that we were trying to find one place that would be the place forever. And so we waited, we were on day 6 or 7 before we even started trying to make cut stone, before we established the machines.
Oh, interesting. So you were just walking around.
Yeah, we were huddling in campfires, foraging, and exploring
That's
while
pretty
we were
jealous.
trying to find the perfect place. And it turns out maybe we should have just established earlier, dug in, put up some wood walls, kept out the goddamn hounds.
Yeah.
We had a terrible
That's
death.
everything too.
Yeah.
The hounds were worse.
The one where the fire went out.
How did you guys die?
We
What were the-
we were doing really well, and I think it was our second playthrough, and
Yeah.
we had a really great
were
map,
doing great.
tons of resources. We were awesome, and for some reason, we had built a fire, and we're like, night's coming soon. We're gonna build a fire here. Let's
we got
continue
distracted by something.
continue doing something else, and there's like, oh shit, it's night. We need to run back to the fire. And by the time we started running back to the fire, it was dying. So Meg got there, and I got there right behind her, and I pulled out the wood to put it on the fire right as the fire went out. So I just
Oh,
dropped
no.
the wood in the dark.
And then we died.
And I couldn't build another fire because I just dropped all my wood out onto
Wow.
the ground.
No, what about your lighter?
No, well, I didn't know I didn't know about the lighter at that point. We just switched characters, so I was the strong man our first round. And the second one, I
Yeah.
was like, "Here we go!" And I had no idea that they were like, "Meg, lighter, Meg, lighter." I'm like, "You're yelling at me. I don't know why you're yelling at me. I don't know how to use this lighter you're talking about." Had not at all explored.
Yeah, so then we got killed by the
Yeah.
darkness.
I really liked the personalities in this game. Like the strongman has some funny lines, but the rundown house that we came upon, there's like the pigman house, but we came upon a version of that was like kind of broken down.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there must not be anything in here. My girl stood next to it. She's like, nobody would mind if this burned. And then everything piled out of it and killed me instantly.
She says
Really?
that about everything. I played the same character, Willow, the fire starter, and yeah, she's just
She's
like
got a lot of
she's
really
like,
great lines.
Everything is. I bet that would burn
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I just
real
randomly
creepy.
found Ashley's lighter too, like in the middle of the wilderness, and
That's
she just
the-
like
the
run off
first
and
time
dropped
we,
it.
Well, the first time we played, I was wandering off, and I was like, "Look, a frog!" And I went to like poke it, and it starts chasing me, and then
Yeah.
stuff.
Like
I
everything.
didn't,
Oh, well, that's how Gus died a bunch of times.
One time.
right. I didn't realize, but I was dropping stuff.
Oh.
And so we explored down in that area like a day or two later, and he's like, "Look, I found a lighter on the ground," and I was like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, that's what."
I read
happens."
that as her sanity goes down, she'll also randomly starting fires.
And that apparently brings her sanity back up too.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Like your sanity must have been like totally full.
Yeah, you were fine. You're probably like banking sanity for the rest of the game.
Because, like, if she lights, someone was saying that, yeah, if you get really low on sanity, just light something on fire, it brings it up.
But our deaths
awesome.
were like, I mean, it was like
By the
always
way,
like everything's
different definition of sanity. Very different.
everything's going great in our run throughs. And I mean, we had one where we had like tons of gold, everything. We were building stuff. We had a fort at one point, but there was always just some random thing that would happen that would just like wreck it. Like on the last one, we had everything down. We were like foraging around. We're going today we're going west. Tomorrow we're going east. You know, I'll be the lumberjack.
plan.
Yeah, you
Like an itinerary.
We were
It
awesome.
was great.
Yeah.
We had spare rabbit traps that we were carrying around to be like, all right, when we settle down, we'll set these out in the nearest savannah. This will be like we have all this stuff. We had food to spare. We had all kinds of equipment. It was great. We were doing really well.
And then 3 dogs showed up and killed us. Like, I mean, we weren't even like, we didn't come across them. They just ran onto our screen and killed us. We were at our base,
horrible.
and I died, and then Ashley's running around in a circle for like 5 minutes. Like, there's literally nothing you can do.
Yeah.
I was trying
You
to
just
wait
had
for
to run
night.
away.
Like maybe they'd be scared of the fire at night.
Yeah.
Or no, it turns
That
out
sucks.
And she can't even attack them. I mean, there's nothing that can be done. I mean, it's
That sucks.
Yeah.
I do feel like we've probably fallen down on the things like building armor because we can apparently build like
Yeah.
log armor.
Well, no,
and
I
stuff.
had, like,
put
my
on the
grass
flower.
armor.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had the grass armor and I had a flower crown for my
but
sanity.
right.
Which is better, log armor or grass armor?
Log.
I would assume
Log
log,
armors would be
but
better,
grass
yeah.
was the easiest to build.
And you know, I don't know if you all ever got the chance to do it, but you can revive
Yeah,
a dead.
we both
we,
teammate.
But you have to kill a spider to do it.
because we can't kill spiders yet.
Yeah,
You
we can-
can
We
kill,
can if you
kill
can
a
separate
spider.
them, you can get one spider for sure. But when you get like 3, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But you could totally get a spider.
if you have a spear.
Oh, I think
No,
you,
I
you
did
did
it with
the
my
axe.
axe.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed a rabbit with an axe. I was so
I
proud
killed
of
a
myself.
turkey with an axe, and I was like, "What's up?"
We should probably start
found-
wrapping up here. pretty
He
soon.
found a pan flute
Yeah.
that would hypnotize animals.
I was pretty good at finding random stuff. Yeah, and I it had 10 charges on it, and I'd play it, and it would put them to sleep. And I put one of those robotic horses to sleep 10 times and hit it, and it still wouldn't die. And it was really frustrating. The enemy system in the game is super frustrating to me. I don't know. I'm not personally not a huge fan of the game.
Well,
I play it
interesting.
on a regular basis, but I'm not a big fan.
Get to be a big fan because I want to play more.
I think the
Well, yeah.
and then I think the multiplayer supported up to 6 players at once. in
You
a
can join
world.
our group, Ash.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd be down to play multiplayer some more.
Yeah.
but
I'm
not
with you
single
guys.
player. All right, well we should probably get
we should probably choose the next game.
Oh, yes.
Here. Yeah.
All right,
Do,
bring
do,
out the
do,
cylinder
Can I
of
pick?
selection.
Yeah, Gus has got it.
you
I've
can pick.
never had a chance to
The
pick.
cylinder of selection, indeed.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Choose.
It always enters in such like pseudo dramatic fashion. It's just like here I
Dun
am.
dun.
I also got like in the middle of our stream of doing this, I got the sniffles, and then I'm now sick at like 12 hours later. Like
So you didn't starve. but you
people
did get sick.
people
Right.
watched me get sick like on the stream for this.
I haven't looked
Dude,
yet.
people in Twitch chat are super helpful,
Bye.
Except if your mic doesn't work, and then they're all just telling you that your mic doesn't
which
work.
is in its way
a
helpful.
community
Not at all.
suggestion.
Okay.
Gone home.
Huh, right to play.
All right,
So good.
can do.
So we'll be playing and talking
So
about
overrated.
Gone Home for next week's game club.
It's
Guess who's
great.
not allowed to be on it now?
What?
Not just,
Yeah.
just
He
already,
said
you're
guess.
already
Said
so
guess.
salty.
Yes, yeah. No.
All right.
It's just overrated.
All right,
Bye.
we'll see you guys
Bye.
next week. Play Gone Home.